Hello and welcome to learning outcome number 1. Understand how self-managed learning can enhance lifelong development. To illustrate how self-managed learning can enhance lifelong development, I would like to go through 3 main points: approaches to self-managed learning, ways to encourage lifelong learning, personal and professional context, and last but not least, benefits of self-managed learning. First of all, I would like to put a huge emphasis on how the PPD program has directly guided us to self-managed learning. Through almost 3 months worked with Group 9A with my amazing partners, team members, and also doing personal tasks, I have personally get to appreciate self-managed learning and acknowledge the vital importance of self-managed learning to my lifelong development. Before we can expertise self-managed learning, we first have to have a grip of it, and these are effective approaches to self-managed learning. The first one is setting goals and objectives. This gives you long-term vision and short-term motivation. In PPD, we have practice setting goals on SMART analysis in Workshop 3, Time Management, Workshop 5, Learning Development Plan, and Workshop 6, Holland Code's Career Type. We set different goals on different terms in our lifelong. Next is taking responsibility. It helps develop problem-solving skill and collaborating skills. Responsibility might from being a leader or from being a team player, and those are equally powerful as long as we determine to contribute and collaborate. We have gained those responsibilities through weeks and weeks working with each other on presentation videos. The third one is social media. It's not something that we directly conduct on PPD workshops, but this is one approach that I would like to suggest about its effectiveness. It offers subject-related monitoring tools that are useful. Additionally, there are also other valuable approaches that I would like to recommend, such as networking, reading books, attending seminars, and conferences. So, how do we encourage lifelong learning in personal and professional contexts? Let's find out. First, SWOT analysis. It helps identify our strengths and weaknesses. Second, communication. Helps understand ourselves and others. Third, motivation. This keeps satisfaction to increase efficiency. And last but not least, updating skills. Increases knowledge and generates modifications. How about the benefits of self-managed learning? We have benefit from the program. This is communication skills, and this is very important as we are living in the modern era where modern cultures are constantly intertwined. Mostly every week we have to deliver presentation videos, and this clearly have enhanced our presentation skills, and this gives us the strength to persuasively express knowledge to others. While working as a group, every week we change the leader, and this has given all members in my group the approach to leadership. Besides, working in several topics every week, we have broadened our horizon and gained more knowledge and set of skills. Henry Ford once said, "Anyone who stops learning is old, at 20 or 80. Anyone who keeps learning stays young." Learning is a lifelong process, and knowledge is powerful and eternal. As long as we consistent to upgrade ourselves with knowledge and skills, we are at young hearts.
Hello, I'm Tiên and I'm going to talk about Learning Outcome 2 and how I have achieved this outcome during the PPD course. Learning Outcome 2 helped me be able to take responsibility for my personal and professional development, even in our daily life or work life. Effective personal and professional development help us to assess our own skills and ability, identify our needs and opportunity, and also set goals to maximize our potential. During the PVT course, I took many tests, for example, MBTI, Assist, Resilient, EI EI test, and each of these tests had a distinctive objective and helps me to attain a more comprehensive understanding of one aspect about myself. This is my personality type from MBTI. The assist results show my learning approach, and resilience can show my ability to recover from difficulties. And I also know my suitable career type to the ISET test. This test show my emotional intelligence, and these test results help me to know about my characteristic and provide me with accurate information and my different aspects. Thus, I can develop a more effective learning approach or choosing jobs that are suitable with my career type. So you can see on the screen, this is my score for my study and for my career. Evaluating my current skill and competency is a crucial part in personal and professional development plan. To me, I use the above results as criteria to evaluate my current ability. For example, the result from resilience shows that I'm typically productive and have high stress or resistance when it comes to my emotional intelligence. I have a high score in self-management, and this skill positively affect my study or my work life. So that's how I can list my strengths in study and also my career. Besides, I have to identify my weaknesses. For acid, I realize it's syllabus boundaries and also my poor relationship management. From this, I set priority for activities and courses that I need to take in the short-term and long-term period. As a senior, I have my career orientation for all my dream jobs and try to hone essential skills. After that, I have to identify the available opportunities and threats in the context of my study and my future career, and they are listed in my choice work you can see on the screen. For my development plan, I have set 2 goals, one for my learning and one for my professional life. You can see this is my learning development plan and this is my professional development plan. After knowing my strengths, weaknesses, and also have a clear future vision, I set specific and attainable goals I want to achieve, and from this, I have built the short-term plans. You can see in these plans, I chose 3 objectives and design methods and listed activity to achieve them, and also set a time scale for each objective. Besides, I will be the person taking responsibility for the process, so I must be self-managed and self-disciplined. So that's how I can take responsibility for my personal and professional development.
Hi, I'm Han. Now I will present the third learning outcome. The first part I will present is the processes and activities required to implement a development plan. As you can see, this includes 4 steps. The first and foremost step is defining a goal, especially based on SMART model, which includes specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely, and follow up my steps to achieve those goals. In addition, to assist me to identify goals easier, there are some interesting tests like ACET or MBTI. The second step is prioritizing. To do that, I need to understand my strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, which are equated with SWOT analysis. The better I can understand myself, the easier I can reach my objectives. The third one is setting timeline and taking action. I need to brainstorm the methods and processes that I have to do to achieve a goal and set specific time for each step, then following them. Development plan may be useless if I do not take action. Last but not least is reflection to reach objectives. Reflection is indeed an important step that I have to check progress or outcome frequently in order to make sure I'm going the right way, and if wrong, immediately adjust to new method. The second part I want to mention is undertaking and document development activities as planned. As an economics student, I really hope that I'm good at present skills. Therefore, I made a learning development plan. I brainstormed some methods like practice presenting in front of a mirror before each presentation, learn how to interact and control my body language confidently through YouTube videos I learned from my classmates, because some of them are really good at this. And the last one is watching and giving feedbacks for my friend's presentation, which is one of the most useful methods to me. It not only helps me to do better on the next presentation, but also gives me a huge motivation to practice more and more. And the third part is reflection. In a development plan, reflection is a crucial part which gives me an objective view on the outcome achieved. Also, in learning progress, mistakes are unavoidable. Then, I have to receive all feedback including compliments and criticism as well. For example, in the first team presentation in lecture information technology, my lecturer criticized me a lot for interaction and body language in front of my classmates. At first, I was really sad and ashamed. However, a while after, I used those comments as my own motivation. Therefore, my present skill is better now. And the last but not least process is that we need to evaluate the development plan we have used. Keep monitoring them on a regular basis, and if it's not going appropriately, then we need to make a few changes to the plan or revise a new plan altogether. That's all about my learning outcome. And my dear teammate, Pauline, is the next member who will demonstrate acquiring interpersonal and transferable skills.
Hi, I'm Pauline. In this part, I will introduce to you our fourth learning outcome: be able to demonstrate acquired interpersonal and transferable skills. There are three parts of my presentation: using skill, communication styles, and interpersonal and transferable skills. How I solve teamwork problem using active listening skill. As mentioned in our group reflective writing one, our team members are creative and have high self-esteem, and this caused me trouble when we couldn't decide on the topic and divide the work equally. Struggling with finding the right way to communicate. I don't know how to communicate effectively and find out a way for our team. Luckily, my close friends questioned, "Why won't you guys listen to each other? Give me a way." So what was our solution? We tried not to argue too much at the team meeting. Instead, we listened to each other and engaged with our team carefully to find out the pros and cons of each project. After all, our team finds the best option to present the group video. Active listening skill is the key to communication, especially when we are leader or do teamwork. The second part, there are a lot of communication styles, and when it comes to communication, it's not only about how people talk in daily life, but also how people communicate in specific circumstances. If we're talking to our friends and family, we can talk as freely as we can. However, when you are discussing with your boss or consulting with your customer, the tone should be suitable to give out a good result. I really recommend applying body language communication, since it brings the right expressions, attractiveness, and reliability to our speech and presentation. Another example is communication, like writing an email is the most suitable when we send a CV for a job. We should combine different ways of communication in different situations. Knowing the art of communication helps us a lot in achieving our goals in the long run. I will explain the similarities and differences between interpersonal and transferable skills. The similarities Both interpersonal and transferable skills are the skill sets that will support your work and life. They make you a more valuable employee and help you to be more confident in the interview situation. The difference is interpersonal skills refers to your ability to communicate with and interact with other people. Included with this are the abilities to get along with others on a personal level, to maintain a professional level of empathy towards the situations that others may be experiencing, and to simply get along with people on a personal level. Transferable skills, on the other hand, are the soft skills that can be applied to a wide range of jobs and industries. They are usually learned over time from work experience, volunteering, hobbies, education, or even just at home. We can say that transferable skill is a higher application of interpersonal skill. For example, your interpersonal skills dictate your ability to communicate and deal with other individuals on a regular basis. You can bring a productive, relaxing atmosphere to the conversation regardless of what the situation is. If your transferable skills is communication, it helps you know when and how to ask questions, how to read body language, and how to talk to people in many contexts, especially at work.
That brings us to the end of our presentation. It is our pleasure to engage in such interesting courses like personal and professional development. We have learned a lot of knowledge as well as useful skills that can assist us in learning process and future career. I would like to, on behalf of my teammates, to thank Mr. Ray Webster and Mrs. Mai, who guided us directly and spent a lot of time helping us to improve day by day. Sincerely, thank you so much for all you have given us.